The raccoons have been getting into my neighbor's garbage, so I reached out to him and said let's do some investigating and figure out what's going on and come up with some solutions. And to do that, we're going to use this little security camera. This little thing shoots in 2K, made for indoors and outdoors. You can use it to monitor your kids, the elderly, any pets you may have. And one of the things that we found it extremely good for is as a baby monitor, because of its very clear image in the dark. You just need to plug it in, and you need a good Wi-Fi signal. It has tons of features, including a spotlight, and it sends all notifications to your phone. If you've been thinking about getting a cheap little security camera, this is a great little choice. And as always, anything I use in this video will be linked in the description under the video. And the first night at 12 o'clock, the skunk showed up. And just so you know, there are no lights on while taking this video. This is in darkness and only using the infrared lights on the camera. You can see how nice and clear the image is in 2K. The timestamp is in the lower right hand corner. This is the second night at 4 AM in the morning. The only deterrent at this point is some bricks on top of this lid and a log on the other. With all garbage pails having a tapered shape, they're very easy to tip over. They just grab onto it and use their body weight to pull it over. And when it hits the ground, the lid almost always flies off. So the first thing I could see that needed to be done was to separate the bins so that there's some distance between them. So if they climb on top of them, they can't climb from one to the other easily. So we moved the bins 3 feet apart. Then I got some cheap nylon rope at the dollar store. I then made a nice big loop and I put it underneath a large washer and a screw. This makes it very easy to get the length right so it'll go right around the garbage pail. Then on the other side I put a screw in a block of wood. This makes it very easy to get it off and on garbage day. And it holds it nice and steady so that it can't be tipped over. From the footage that we gathered, it looked like the skunks showed up at least twice a night. They don't usually climb up on things, but they're mostly there to forage for the food that the raccoons has left behind on the ground. The nylon rope around each of the bins was working perfectly. And it's back again 5 hours later. It looks like a really good first step to prevent raccoons from getting in your garbage is to just add some cheap rope so that they can't be tipped over. From watching all this footage, it becomes apparent that their expectation is that it's just going to tip over. It was now time to add one more affordable deterrent. So with a bit of searching around, I found these really cheap buckles on Amazon. They're 1 inch wide and they're really easy to use. They come with 6 in a pack and they each come with a good length of webbing. I took each one and I measured it and cut it at 10 inches. Then I took the spare webbing and cut another length at 10 inches. And then any cuts I made, I took the torch and I melted the ends to stop them from fraying. And once I threaded them into the buckle, I could double them up for strength. Then I used my hot glue gun to hold the doubled up section together. I used a piece of coat hanger and my self-igniting torch to make the holes. I decided to put 3 of these buckles on 2 of the bins. The third bin had a really well-fitting lid, so I didn't have to do anything with it. The best way to figure out where the 3 buckles should go? Just use a clock. Just mark it at 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Then drill some 1/4 inch holes. I used a stepper drill. Stepper bits are great because it's like having 6 drill bits in one. You'll need some 1/4 inch bolts that are 3/4 of an inch long, some 1/4 inch washers. I chose these nylock nuts. They have a little nylon washer built in and that prevents them from loosening off. When you use 3 buckles, it makes it easier to put garbage in just by undoing one of them. Now let's see what they do with the buckles installed. So there's 2 low-cost ways to keep raccoons out of your garbage. The first option, make sure that they can't tip it over, and with the addition of the second, they can't get into it. And remember, any of the tools I used in this video will be linked in the description. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notifications, and we'll see you next time.